Good morning. It was really hard to set up all those shots before the first sip of coffee, but I did it. Here we are. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different. It's strange to say that I'm like doing something different because I don't really know what this is. That's my bagel. This might be the kind of video where you drink coffee and put it on in the background because I'm just gonna chat. So if you're not into that, feel free to leave. That's okay. I spent a lot of time thinking of like video ideas, like what could I possibly do, but I figured I could just make a video and chat a little bit. Usually in the mornings, and by mornings it's 2 right now. It's Monday. I don't have classes on Monday, so I usually wake up, I sit here for a little bit and drink coffee and think about life. Then I go for a run, and then I take a shower and do homework all day. Except it's usually 6 p.m. by that point, so I'm up all night. I've got 2 weeks left of the semester, so all I have left are like final exams and presentations. Even some of the big stuff is over already, so I am like, there's a lot of stuff I've been thinking a lot about lately. Like December is usually my favorite month, just because I love snow and hot chocolate and family and the feeling of looking back and it being the end. Usually in December, like a lot has happened in September, October, and so there's usually lots of really fun stuff happening in December, and it can feel like a really inspirational month. A lot of people try to find motivation in January. I don't know. I also love summer. But summer is like, sometimes it feels like you black out in the summer and like you have your whole year where it's your life, but then there's summer and it's like, why can't everything be like summer? But maybe once I graduate and stop being a student in the fall, spring, and winter, that'll be different. I'm trying to like hide my bagel from you. Okay, so over the summer, I messaged my friend Priscilla from The Readables, and I know that she's a graphic designer. And so I asked if she would be willing to do some typography work because I wanted to hang some of my favorite quotes on my wall here. And she did it, and they're beautiful. But the quote is, "Live the questions now. Perhaps then someday far in the future you will gradually, without even noticing it, live your way into the answer." And that is something that I thought a lot about this summer and this year, and I still do. This year and December is strange for me because I don't, for the first time, I don't feel totally like a piece of shit. And I feel like I have just started to enjoy the process of everything during this time without worrying so much about like end goals, because they change. And with anything I've ever done ever, it's not until you forget about that, actually start working, that what it's going to be starts to be real. This year, a thing that I started doing is running. I run like 4 times a week. I ran my first 5K this year. It felt amazing. I know that I'm not like where I will be now. That's something that I've wanted to start doing for a long time. But how do you ever like get into the routine of doing that? Like, you don't. I don't. I never did. And it's the same thing with wanting to be a writer. I feel that I've known that forever, and it has come through in different ways. But this year, like in the past 4 months, I've been able to do things like NaNoWriMo, and I have my piano in my room now. I'm still going to school for film and theater, and I love it. And so when you step back and look at that, it's like, okay, great. Like, that's okay. When you're there, it feels like that's as far as you'll ever get. And I just think, like, how do you ever feel valid? Like, you get to go to the next step. How does anyone ever get there? And I think it just happens by working hard and doing it and letting go of your idea of how it's going to happen. And it's so difficult to enjoy the process. Like, it sucks, but it's also the best. In high school, I would always talk about feeling nostalgic and how I loved that feeling. And it would be like junior year, and I'd be like, oh my god, freshman year. Can't believe that's over. And a lot of people watching this will probably experience this in a much stronger way. Just like this year, I feel like so many doors have closed this year in a good way that looking back now is a totally different experience. It's like, oh, that was actually 5 years ago, and I actually can't speak to that person anymore. I think that's also why I love December, because feeling nostalgic at the end of something, and it makes me really excited that things are actually different. I felt like my 2014, 15, and 16 were all the same in different ways, but I felt like the same 5 major things happened just in my life personally. So now that it's December, I feel like 2017 was just like the door that I've just had to like bang on, and I don't totally know what that means for 2018, but I have an idea. All I know is what I should be doing. I'm really trying to turn off my brights to focus on what's right here and a little bit ahead. And I don't know if that's good or not. That's never how I've done anything. I think about my life until I turn 21, and then I'm like, I can't think about that. And so I'm definitely not saying that I'm good, I'm chill, I've got it figured out, because I definitely have a lot of the same insecurities and worries and issues, but I feel so much different about them now. This video has been a mess. I don't know, I don't know. I might not even upload it, but I just wanted to do like a coffee and chat. You know what else? I read Turtles All the Way Down. I read it. It took me like 2 or 3 weeks to read it. Really enjoyed it. It's my favorite John Green book. And after reading it, I have the urge to go back to page 1, which is so strange because I have just been thinking about the competitive reading discussion in BookTube right now, and watching the videos, I'm like, I don't feel that way. Like, I'm not jealous of people who read faster. I don't feel pressured to read quickly anymore, but I so know what people mean, because it's like every time I finish a book now, I'm like, okay, yes, done. Never have to see this book again. Next. But I am telling you, I just want to like read Turtles All the Way Down again. I want to read Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda again. I've never had the urge to reread something except for Percy Jackson and Harry Potter. But I'm never like, yes, I should spend my time reading that again. And it totally all just has to do with like the voice. I just want to go back to the voice of the narrator and the ideas and the beautiful writing. It has nothing to do with the story. I didn't think the story was even that interesting. It was a little bit like, why? But I still loved it so much. So I might do a video review of Turtles All the Way Down. Right now I'm reading The Hate You Give. I'm like 30% through. That's accurate. And it's a really intense reading experience. And then I'm gonna read Call Me By Your Name. So those are my December thoughts. Morning coffee. Usually all of these thoughts happen like this, sitting here alone. So I just wanted to try something. Maybe I'll delete this footage. So leave me a comment and tell me anything. How are you feeling this December? What's your favorite month? Do people have favorite months? Is that weird? Okay, well, thanks for hanging out with me. If you could give this video a thumbs up, really appreciate it. And if you don't follow me on social media, I have Twitter and Instagram, and they're both TiernandBE, and I'll see you guys soon. Happy December. Mwah. Goodbye.